It's my birthday today. Kind of. Not at all. Today's my 4-year channel anniversary. That is horrifying to think about. In the sense that I hate it when time passes, I have genuinely really enjoyed my time on LPS Tube so far. Mostly. So I didn't have a huge amount of time to make an anniversary special this year, or literally any ideas. I'm going to be going through and reacting to the story outline of an old series I had back in 2020. Well, I never actually made it, obviously, but like, the ideas. So if you enjoy suffering, you should enjoy this one. Also, I talk kind of oddly in this, and now actually, because I forgot to bring a water bottle out here. I hope it's not annoying. Anyways. Hello, and welcome to hell. This is hell. So today we're going to be looking at my debut series that I was supposed to debut 3 years ago. Not fitting for a 4-year anniversary, I just realized, but I don't have a series from 4 years ago because I didn't write any of them down at all. In case you can't tell, I'm a bit nervous because I'm recording in my room where my parents can definitely hear me. Also, if the video quality for my screen recording isn't that good, shut up. I spent so much time, and my dear mother spent even more time because I got too overwhelmed. We've gone to the ends of the earth and back to even get this quality. We turned this to dark mode, we turned this to German somehow. Anyways, I need to get going because this video is too long. It's going to take up so much space on my computer. So the series we're looking at is called The Amulet, not to be confused with this short film, The Amulet, which is actually not based on this. They're both based on the same source idea from even longer ago that I don't have any, like, proof of even it existing. But let's get into my debut series. Debut in quotation mark. This was supposed to be a medieval fantasy sort of thing, but also kind of just sucked. Okay, so these were my little references for characters. I hate this format before we get into anything. I hate like positive trait, negative trait, negative trait. It's like, it's just like, it's so much more complicated than like single traits, and also like putting them into like positive and negative. It's just, it doesn't work for my brain. So I don't know why I did it. I don't know, man. I was 13 when I made this. First of all, we have our main character. Main character. His name's Caden. He's 16. He wants to be a knight, I think. I should actually probably be reading this. So his positive traits are observant, polite to most people, relatively compliant to most people. Yeah, that's such a... I don't know why I needed to add that part, because, like, yeah, no, duh, he's not compliant to literally everyone. Negative traits. Bottles up anger, holds grudges, is bad at lying. I do not remember any of these negative traits being a part of his character. Shit. But yeah, he is, like, kind of just a whiny teenager type guy. Skills include sword fighting, smithing, and English. It's supposed to be because it's, like, medieval Europe or whatever, and not everyone knows how to read. But I don't know why I put that there, just like, oh, another skill I could add another skill! The problem with these, actually, is that, like, instead of thinking about it, I just feel the need to put down words, even if they don't, like, make any sense. I just want to have them there, instead of, like, actually finding stuff for it. Fears large bodies of water. Great! Backstory. Caden grew up in a large, somewhat wealthy household. He has one sibling. That is not a large household. I think I meant a large house. He was taught to read and write, along with smithing, a skill which he resents having. Backstory. From a young age, Caden's parents put a lot of stress on the fact that it was important for Caden to be excellent at smithing, but rejected that when he discovered his interest in sword fighting. Also, the distinction between backstory and background here is, like, kind of weird. You could just put this in one thing, but I know what I was trying to go for, but I don't know, man. Voiced. Quiet and sometimes a bit monotone. That was for me, like, voice acting, but, like, bro, you were not good enough at voice acting to be doing this. I don't even do this for characters now, I probably should. Important details. Caden almost drowned as a child. Again, put it in the backstory before the series. Again, put it in the backstory, but Caden wants to be a knight, but his parents want him to carry on the family tradition of smithing. This creates a lot of tension between Caden and his parents. Caden doesn't have many friends. Yeah, I can see why. Most people in town consider him to be unsociable. Yeah, he was meant to be kind of like a loser, but yeah, definitely that part works. That's the only part here that really works. Okay. Next character, Josiah. Josiah, the second main character. He's like somewhere between the ages of like 17 and 27. I never decided. Positive traits, confident, self-reliant, thinks quickly. That's not enough traits to... whatever. Negative traits, overconfident. Yeah. See, I was like, I just wanted 3 traits and I couldn't think of 3, so I just put like... And that's the thing with, like, the nuance, like, you know, confident, overconfident, that could be, like, one trait, and, like, you can't really put it in positive or negative, because it's, like, you know, it changes around, because, you know, things are positive in certain situations and negative in other situations, so that's why this format doesn't work for me! Skills, sword fighting, knife fighting, question mark, deception, stealing things, fears, the enemies he's made, backstory, Josiah has been a thief for the majority of his life. You can tell I really didn't put much here, or that's background, not backstory. Sorry, they're the same. They could be the same thing. Oh, they are the same thing. Background and backstory are the same. Voice, calm, relaxed most of the time. Often raises voice when angry. Yeah, a lot of people do that. Important details. A shopkeeper in Caden's hometown despises Josiah and wants him dead. Before the series, Josiah was traveling from place to place and stopped at that town, intending to stay near there for only a few days, but Caden derailed his plan. I feel like their relationship, Caden and Josiah, is kind of a little bad. You haven't even seen the relationship yet, but it's like, it's so, I don't know, I just did it in such a weird way. I don't know, man. Quinn. This guy's name has been changed so many times. It's like, it's Quentin, then it's Quincy, then it's Quinn, then, like, who is this guy? Positive traits. Intelligent, observant, insightful. I feel like all of these... oh, whatever. Negative traits. Cowardly, illogical, at times. Why are both of these capitalized? Constantly stressed. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. Skills, sword fighting, archery, stealth, fears, failing at his job. Background. A very long time ago in his hometown, Quinn was the best at sword fighting. This made him overconfident, which has now changed. Backstory. Years ago, Quinn decided that he would be a bounty hunter since he was great at sword fighting, a decision he now regrets deeply. Again, these could go in the same, like, paragraph. Also, sorry I'm reading this so badly. I'm normally better at reading, I promise. Voice. Sort of monotone, similar to Caden's voice. Yeah, I bet it would have been. They would have all been the same, because I could not do voices, and I still kinda can. Important details. He's only allowed to hunt Caden in Caden's hometown, nowhere else. Before the series, Quinn has been failing miserably at capturing criminals for a very long time. Capturing Caden is his last chance to redeem himself. I actually kind of like that, like, whole dynamic of just, like, you know, it's like, this is my last chance, oh no, gotta kill a 16-year-old. I feel like it could have been kind of fun. I don't know. Esther. Oh yeah, the most unnecessary character here. Positive traits. Smart, resourceful, observant. Negative traits. Impulsive, occasionally rude, goes through with bad ideas. These could go as the same trait. If I wrote this... skills. Cooking, comma... Yeah, I never finished this. Originally I wrote this all out on paper, but then I realized I'd rather do it, like, digitally, but then I never finished either of them. Fears, sorcery. In this world, sorcery kind of exists, like magic and magical artifacts. Again, I never did, like, lore, which is really annoying, but yeah, like, sorcery kind of exists, but it's pretty illegal. Like, it's a very illegal thing. Like, you know, you got the black market of, like, magical artifacts, aka, like, you know, amulet. Background. Esther grew up poor. Most of her skills she either learned from her parents or self-taught in. Backstory. Esther always wanted to live in one of the big towns, but could never afford it. That's literally not a full backstory. Actually, I literally don't think it is. I think I just didn't finish it. Voice. Quiet. Similar to the voice I used for Misty. You have no idea who Misty is. She appeared in one video, which got privated, because I copied it from another LPS tuber. Whoopsies. Important detail. Esther's cousin works for the mayor in Caden's hometown. Before the series, Esther works for an inn, cooking, cleaning, etc. She isn't satisfied with her current life. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like all these characters do have, like, at least a little potential, but I was 13. 13-year-olds can't do anything. That's really mean to say. I'm sorry, 13-year-olds. Oh, other characters. Caden's father, who never got a name. Caden's father is a smith. His biggest competitor is Mr. Lundgren. He's worried that if Caden doesn't become a smith, Mr. Lundgren will be far more well-known. He keeps a book of smithing tricks and secrets in his office. Remember, this is all very important, wow. And not at all to do with Caden's dad's actual personality, because he doesn't have one. Caden's mother. Caden's mother thinks Caden is pretty Oh, pretty. What? What? Oh god. I thought it would be pretty irresponsible, not pretty. Oh my god. Is petty and irresponsible. I agree with her. I don't know, man. I agree with her. She tried to tell I'm so bad at typing. She tried to tell Caden that he needs to be a smith in she thinks are settle. They're not. Wait, is subtle actually, subtle's not spelled like that, is it? Okay, Levi. He tries not to get involved in the fight between his parents and Caden, staying on speaking terms with both of them. Yeah, he's Caden's little brother. This is actually super sad because he's like 5 or like 8 or something. It's just like, poor kid, man. Mr. Lundgren. Mr. Lundgren is the rival of Caden's father and wants him out of the picture at all costs. Oh no! Mrs. Lundgren. Agatha is Mrs. Lundgren's wife. Oh, hell yeah. I meant Mr. Lundgren. She's often snobby and rude, specifically to Caden's parents whenever she meets them. Yeah, I meant Agatha is Mrs. Lundgren, who is Mr. Lundgren's wife, but, you know, I mean, the mayor of Caden's hometown is both rude and completely incompetent. He's reluctant to spend money on anything related to the town, which is his downfall in the case of Caden's disappearance. But yeah, I also kind of like the mayor as, like, you know, comic relief. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. Esther's cousin, Anne, works for the mayor. She wants to quit, but is afraid she won't be able to get another job. Shopkeeper. Just not give any of these people names. Years ago, Josiah robbed his store, leaving almost nothing. He couldn't inform the authorities because some of the things he sells are illegal to sell, aka the, magical artifact. He still hates Josiah for that, and wishes that Josiah, were dead. I'm glad I clarified that. But yeah, no, this comes up later. At one point, I don't think I wrote it down, but Josiah is, like, talking at the campfire, like, oh yeah, this shopkeeper guy, he's so mad at me, but then I could, like, kick his ass. I'm going insane during this video. But then when they actually meet up, he's like, oh god, I'm so sorry, man. Plot points. Okay, with this sucks. Basically, my problem with this is I had to write all the plot points in chronological order. For some reason, that's how I decided to do it. Like, I just do one, then I do another. I didn't do, like, beginning, middle, end. And, like, if I had an idea for later on in the story, I saved it in my head instead of writing it down because I wanted to wait until I came to that point in the story, which was, like, for me, I thought it would be a way to make me actually want to write more of the story so I could get to that point, but no, it just made me give up. Okay, Caden's everyday life. Would have loved a little, more context for that, but whatever. Caden's father talks to him about his smithing book and about how Caden needs to take over his position someday. Caden's parents meet with the Lundgrens. Caden and his father have a small fight, which is, like, right in front of them. Just yelling at your kid right in front of your rivals. Caden sort of says something about the book. Again, in front of the rivals, like, you know, and obviously Mr. Lundgren's like, ooh, the what now? You know, you can see where this is going, I think. After the meeting, Caden's father and Caden have a huge fight about how Caden mentioned the book. Caden is used way too much in all this. Like, at night, Caden wakes up because of hearing footsteps. He leaves the room. Peter wakes up and sees that Caden... Yeah, I changed Levi to Peter and back again a lot, so Peter and Levi are the same character. Caden's father dies. The book is missing. Again, you can kind of see what's happening here. A town watchman shows up at Caden's house and tries to arrest Caden. Caden's father is on board with it! Oh no! I forgot! Yeah, my son is a murderer. Caden escapes into the forest. Josiah finds Caden in the forest. Josiah lets Caden accompany him to throw suspicion off of himself, because Josiah is, like, wanted everywhere, and one of the things he's known for is always traveling alone. The mayor is informed about Caden's escape. He doesn't care that much. He thinks that Caden will be caught soon. Caden and Josiah learn a little more about each other. Why is there a period and a comma here? Caden tells Josiah about how he's been framed and is very awkward. Josiah tries to convince Caden not to clear his name. It's supposed to be awkward because Caden's like, oh, I've been framed, I never did any of it. And Josiah's like, oh, that sucks. Anyways, you want to hear about the 57 different crimes I've actually committed? Caden and Josiah go into town. Caden tries to find clues about who murdered his father. Josiah steals things. Caden hears people talking about how Mr. Lundgren might be the real murderer. Which, spoiler alert, he is. I feel like it would have been better if Caden, like, figured that out on his own, rather than just, like, townspeople giving him, like, the key to the story. I did not know know how to do foreshadowing. Caden and Josiah are attacked by guard. Josiah kills the guard. Oh my god, wow. Also, this weird character arc with Caden is like him being more comfortable killing people. I don't know why I did that. I mean, I guess it makes sense if you're in like medieval Europe or whatever, they're always like killing people or something. I don't know. I failed history. But, you know, it's still weird. Josiah tells Caden that they should leave. Caden refuses. Josiah reluctantly lets them stay for a bit longer. Why are they even still working together? They do not like each other. They don't. I mean, it isn't shown here, but like, I know what I was going for, and I know they did not like each other, so why do they not split up? Caden and Josiah have an awkward conversation about how long they've been on the run and such. Oh, that's what I was talking about, where, Caden's like, oh, I've been framed, oh no, and Josiah's like, yeah, I've been, you know, killing people and stealing things and burning down buildings for, you know, my entire life, however long that is. I don't know how old Josiah is, no one does. The mayor gets a bounty hunter to try and track down Caden. Sorry if I'm reading this badly. Caden and Josiah go into town again. More people are speculating about who killed Caden's father. I feel like it would have been better if they all legit did think Caden murdered him. I don't know. Quinn arrives. The mayor finds Quinn disappointing. Quinn gets to work trying to find Caden. So, like, Quinn is pretty infamous in the bounty hunter world as, like, the loser bounty hunter. Like, you know. But yeah, the mayor's like, you. Oh, for goodness sake. Well, I guess I'll try and get my money's worth out of you. Originally, he was supposed to be a lot more intimidating, but for some reason I decided to do it like that. Quinn finds Caden and Josiah. Caden doesn't have a weapon with him. Josiah defeats Quinn, but doesn't kill him. Josiah says that Quinn is an idiot and says that he'll never be a real threat to them. Foreshadowing! Thank you for telling me that that's foreshadowing! Again, that's like really crappy foreshadowing. Josiah convinces Caden to at least move to a slightly different place. Quinn informs the mayor about Caden and Josiah. The mayor yells at him for not catching Caden and that he's not supposed to capture or kill anyone else. Caden and Josiah get ready to leave. On their way, Quinn attacks them. Josiah defeats him again. Caden and Josiah set up their stuff in the cave. I really didn't know what to do for plot, so it's just a whole bunch of filler. Caden and Josiah go into town for the same reasons as before. Quinn sees Josiah and assumes Caden would be with him. Yeah, I think they split up. It's not clear at all. Caden and Josiah return to the cave. Josiah has food. Caden is disappointed that he didn't get any information about the murder. Quinn gets threatened that if he doesn't capture Caden, he will be punished as if he had been helping him. I kind of like that. Just this guy is just getting so much crap from like everyone, but it doesn't fit. Like, this story just doesn't fit together correctly, I feel like. Quinn go to buy a dark magic item to help him with capturing Caden. Quinn discovers that the shopkeeper hates Josiah. Josiah says that if the shopkeeper gives him the amulet title thing, the amulet isn't actually super important, so I don't know why it's the title. I digress. Quinn says that if the shopkeeper gives him the amulet, he'll kill Josiah. The shopkeeper agrees. The shopkeeper says that if Quinn doesn't do his end of the bargain, he'll tell the mayor that Quinn has an illegal item. I actually kind of like this. I like this plot point. Josiah tells Caden to steal something for him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like their relationship at all. I don't know, man. While Caden walks through town, he overhears two people talking about the Lundgren stuff is randomly improved in quality. Oh wow, I wonder why. Real mystery to who murdered Caden's parents. Real mystery. Caden go over to ask them about it, but recognizes him, so runs away. Oh my god, okay, so Caden goes over to ask them about it, but they recognize him, so he runs away. Try to do this in a way that doesn't make Caden look insanely stupid. I don't think that's possible. Caden returns to Josiah with nothing. Josiah gets angry with Caden. Caden doesn't tell Josiah that he was recognized. Josiah goes to get the thing himself. Quinn overhears someone telling a guard that they've just seen Caden. Quinn confronts the guard and tells him that he'll take care of Caden himself. The guard refuses. Quinn uses the amulet on the guard. It's always hard to tell what the amulet even does. It just kind of does everything, I feel like. I don't know what he was even using the amulet on, like how he was using the amulet on the guard. I don't remember. I have no idea. I should have actually written down details. That would have been very helpful. Josiah overhears people talking about Caden being spotted. Josiah is furious with Caden. Caden and Josiah leave town. Why are you taking Caden with you still? He's clearly not helpful. Caden and Josiah travel away from the town. Quinn follows from a distance, blah blah blah. Caden goes into a store and gets supplies. Caden says that you should stay outside. Josiah replies that would defeat your entire purpose. Caden is confused. It's basically with, Josiah not being profiled as himself, or what, that's the wrong way to use that word, whatever. It's just basically about Josiah, not being recognized because he was always alone, and now he's not alone, so whatever. But, like, Caden is not worth it, man! My throat is really dry. I've been recording for like half an hour. Help! Caden and Josiah travel through the forest more. Yeah, this is all filler. Caden and Josiah come across a river. Josiah says they should cross it to get further away from any pursuers. Caden doesn't want to, and convinces Josiah not to. Also, there's some sort of flashback with Caden and the whole river thing. I did not write down the river thing! Basically, Caden's backstory, edgy, dramatic backstory, is that he, like, almost drowned when he was, like, a child, so now he's scared of water or whatever. I remember telling that to a friend, like, at the time when I was investing, they're like, oh yeah, duh! I don't think they meant it in a mean way, but they're like, oh, of course! But yeah, no, it's literally the most cliche thing. Caden and Josiah travel a bit more and then set up camp, night passes, blah blah blah. This could be in, like, one plot point, these are not full plot points. As Caden and Josiah travel, it begins to rain. No storm, just rain. They're traveling by the same river as before, but it dug itself down and it's faster. That would be really hard to do for sets with LPS videos. How could you even show that? Like, as Caden and Josiah walk next to the river, the rain gets worse and worse. Josiah almost falls into the river, but Caden saves him. Caden blah blah blah. Quinn is standing in the distance. Caden sees him, but Caden doesn't know if he actually saw Quinn or not. It's like, oh, it's just a rain mirage. After the storm, Caden tells Josiah about maybe seeing Quinn. Josiah doesn't believe it was Quinn and tells Caden this. Tells Caden they just try to make it not seem dumb for Josiah to be skeptical about Quinn. Honestly, it doesn't seem dumb. Like, Caden's dumb, so, like, I wouldn't believe Caden. Actually, I probably would, because I have anxiety. Montage! Caden and Josiah come across a bridge. Caden doesn't want to cross it. He is more scared of water than I feel like he should be. Like, I don't know. Eventually they cross it. It collapses. Josiah comments, that was predictable! Freaking Marvel, like, quip. Stop. Caden is upset because he might never be able to return to his hometown. Josiah says that it would be stupid to go back anyway. Again, their relationship sucks. It's weird because it's so bad, but then it's supposed to be portrayed as not that bad. It's like, what are we doing? Maybe I'm taking it too seriously. I don't know. Josiah enter town, blah blah blah, blah. That is a bad idea. Why are you doing that? Introduced Esther. She's suspicious of Caden and Josiah. She's heard their description from other people before. How are they that infamous already? It's been like a day. Esther decides to spy/eavesdrop on them. She overhears them talking about something that would incriminate them. Esther tells the owner. People try to capture/kill Josiah, but they escape. Josiah blames Caden? Caden and Josiah flee the town. Esther wants to warn the neighboring towns about Caden and Josiah. Her friend/coworker tries to convince her not to, saying it's dangerous and it's never freaking business, dude. I'm losing my mind. But Esther decides to go anyway. Caden and Josiah travel until night. They set up camp? Josiah tells Caden about some of the enemies he's made. How the St. Bernard... Oh, I did write this down. How the St. Bernard shopkeeper wants to kill him in a laughing/bragging sort of way. Esther gets ready and leaves. The end. There's a whole bunch more, but, like, I never wrote any of it down because, reasons I said before. I don't know. I remember the ending, like, Caden clears his name because he finds the incriminating evidence, aka the book that we saw, that we talked about a lot in the beginning, in the Lundgren's office, and that's somehow enough to incriminate them, like, fully. Actually, I think maybe he confesses Mr. Lundgren. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what happens after that. There's kind of like this epilogue where, like, Caden's, living his life as an adult, and Josiah sort of comes to visit him, and then I wanted to do this, like, subversion of, like, oh, we went on an adventure together, so now we're friends. Like, he comes back, and Caden's like, go away, man. Just go away. I don't want you here. And then that's the end. I've been recording for, like, 30 minutes. This was supposed to be, like, 10 minutes. This is going to absolutely destroy the storage left on my computer. This video is going to suck. This is not a good 4-year anniversary, probably. As you can tell, I do not have much time to change it to anything else, so, this is what we're getting. Bye! Yeah, bye!